Hi kids, it's time to leap into a world of exploration, discovery and joy with our next Leap Into Learning session for 2021. Now over to our host for this week, Mrs. Brad.
Hi again everyone, welcome to our Leap for Learning. This week we're all about science, investigating things. What's that sound and what floats and what sinks? Let's see if we can have some fun today, investigating but also learning a little bit about how things work as well. Thank you for joining us again. Hope you enjoy. So today, let's start with floating and sinking. You can do this at home, lots of fun. Just get a container full of water, and a little bit of water, not too full, and you can simply put things in and see, does it float or does it sink? But first of all, what does float mean? Float means to stay on the top of the water. To sink means to go under and go to the bottom of the water. So let's have a look at some of these objects and see if they float or sink. I wonder if you can guess before I put them in. Now I have my plastic chicken here. I wonder, will it float or will it sink? I think I'm going to guess that it will sink. Let's have a look. And I put it in the water. Oh, look at that. Actually, my guess wasn't right. It's actually floating because it's staying on top of the water. What about these scissors? I wonder if they'll float or sink. Let's have a look. I think it might sink. Yes, it did sink. It went right to the bottom of the water. What about this dinosaur, plastic dinosaur? I think it might float. Let's have a look. Put it in. Oh, it went straight to the bottom. It did sink. It didn't float. There you go. Now, I've got a heavy rock here. I think that's going to sink right to the bottom straight away. Yes, it did sink. What about this piece of cardboard from an egg carton? I think it might float. Let's see if it floats or sink. You know, you could do some of these in your bath as well when you have a bath at night. Yeah, see how it's floating on the top? Now, I wonder if you get to float in a pool at home or anything like that. The cup, I think it will float. So it'll stay on top of the water. That's my guess. Yes, it did. And what about these cotton wool balls? I think they might float as well. Let's have a look. Oh, look at that. Once they got wet, they sank right to the bottom. And my final thing is a plastic fence for my toys. I think it will float. Let's have a look. Yes, it did. So I've been able to look at what things were able to float and what things were able to sink. Do you know, I think I've concluded, which means I've thought about it, heavy things will go to the bottom, they will sink, and the light things will stay at the top and they will float. So I've learned something by doing floating and sinking. I wonder what you can learn by doing some floating and sinking activities at home. Well, today we have a story called Rain Dance. It's got beautiful sound words in it as well. And this book's written by Kathy Applegate and Dee Huxley. Let's have a look at it. It's a beautiful book. Rain Dance. Everything is quiet. Everything is still. It hasn't rained for 2 whole years. We wait and wait and wait until we are no longer sure what we are waiting for and whether it will ever come. I wonder what they're waiting for. I have a feeling it might be rain because it looks very, very dry where these people are. Beyond our farm, I can see the horizon where a few dark clouds are ready to come. It never comes, and now our dam is parched of dry, cracked mud, surrounded by parched brown land. Propped up against the side of our old broken down cart is a new sign. Its paint is still wet. Farm for sale. So I have a feeling these people need to sell their farm because it's so dry they can't grow any of the crops there. The cicadas have been shrilling, calling impatiently for rain. This morning, even they are quiet. The silence is all over the corners, the cracks and nooks and crannies of our house. It spreads through everything like a hot, dry blanket. My mother stands on the veranda watching the distant cloud of dust swirling behind my father's ute. He's gone to the bank in town and we're not sure when he'll be back. My dog Munro greets me as I step outside. He stretches, sniffing the air with interest. What is it, fella? What's out there? Oh, I wonder what the dog is sort of feeling and smelling. Suddenly I feel a gentle breeze like a sigh of relief against the skin. I swing around to see a mass of dark clouds has filled the sky. Thunder rolls and my skin prickles and goosebumps at the sound. From the distant paddock I hear the cattle bellowing, crying of their thirst and hunger. Oh my goodness, I hope that something special is going to happen for them at the farm. Shadows disappear, melting into a world turned grey. The dust is whipped into a frenzy, and on the cold gusts of wind, I can smell rain coming, I'm sure of it. Pit, pat, pitter, patter, pat. The first drops beat out hesitant rhythm on the corrugated iron roof. Now my mother is running out of the house, yelling, "It's rain! It's rain!" Next minute, she's pulling the nappies off the clothesline and pegs are flying everywhere. In excitement, I laugh out loud at Munro, and Munro barks and whines like a silly puppy. Look at the beautiful rain that's coming. Then in a flurry, the rain comes. The torrent beats on the roof so loudly that I can't even hear my voice. The rain is so heavy, it almost hurts as it pelts my head and shoulders. Water is running into my eyes and ears, but I shake it all away. Wet hair slaps my cheeks. I don't think she minds because she wants to see the rain. I think she's quite happy that the rain has come. Look at that beautiful. She's dancing in the rain. And the mum's over there collecting all the nappies by the looks of it. Mum is on the veranda with the nappies safely in her arms. She's laughing and trying to yell something about the noise of the rain. I think they really appreciate the rain. Running. Now we're running everywhere, anywhere, madly, all in all directions, jumping, cartwheeling and somersaulting, around and around the house, splashing through the puddles and wading in streams. Aren't they happy about the rain? That's wonderful. See me dance, see the rain dance, twisting and turning, spinning and swirling. We celebrate the coming of the rain. Even the frogs are cheering. They croak in a raucous chorus from their hidden haunts. My baby sister has never seen rain before. She clings closely to my mother's neck. I leap up the stairs and flick water droplets onto her nose. She laughs and laughs. "Come and dance," I cry. "Come and dance." But she is too little to understand. At last, Munro and I collapse on our steps, completely out of breath. For ages we sit content to watch the water sheeting down. All day it rains and all night we watch and wonder until eventually it slows and stops. In the end, all that remains is the drip, drip, drip from the edges of the roof. The wind has gone, the heat has been washed out of the day. Mum puts the towels around me and holds me tight. Her smiling face is damp with tears and raindrops. Everything is quiet. Everything is still. The paint on the new sign has been washed away into a few messy red streaks, and we know that Dad will be home soon again. So boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed Rain Dance. It's a beautiful story about how important rain is for our world, and beautiful sounds that come out of that story that you could hear, like the drip, drip, dripping of the rain. Well, boys and girls, after that beautiful story, I thought I'd come outside and see what sounds I can hear with my ears. So if I close my eyes, I can hear some birds in the distance. I can hear the wind rushing through my face, and I can see the wind blowing my cape. I can hear some cars in the distance. So sounds are very important to us, and our ears will help us hear those sounds. What sounds can you hear around you? Well, boys and girls, today we've been with a beautiful story called Rain Dance, but we're going to make one of our beautiful rainmakers that I have made here. If you listen carefully, you can hear that it's like rain falling. So I'm going to show you how to make it. You will need either a toilet roll or paper towel roll. I've got a paper towel roll so it's a bit bigger, but a toilet roll is just as good. You'll also need some foil, and in your pack you would have received some corn and some rice and some brown paper bags. First thing we need to do is to use our brown paper bag. We can get a texter or a pencil, it doesn't matter what, and draw a bigger circle than what we have here, like that. And then I draw a circle around the bottom of my paper towel or toilet roll. Then I make sure that I have 2 of those, and I think you should have 2 brown paper bags. If not, you can either use any sort of paper or use the same little brown paper bag to do it. So you'll need 2 of these big circles and then the little circle around there. Then what I'm going to do, I'll get a darker colour, I think that might help make it easier to see. And I'll go around the green so that you can actually see that a little bit easier. So then I'm going to draw 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 lines in from the outside to the centre, and I cut around my circle. And then I cut into the middle, but not right through, just to the circle part in the middle. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that there, and I'm going to get some sticky tape, and I'm going to tape it on. The reason we cut the circles in the middle is we simply fold it in like that to make it easier to glue on. It doesn't really matter, you can do it however you like. And I use the sticky tape and I tape it down over the whole of my toilet roll or paper towel roll. Now the next thing I then need to do is I get my foil. You'll have a fairly big piece of foil, and what I need to do, this was going to go in the middle. I can simply fold it like this. It can be crumpled up, it's meant to be crumpled up. Foil is good fun to play with anyway. And I'm going to squish it and turn it, and squish it and turn it, and squish it and turn it, because that is going to go inside my toilet roll or my paper towel roll, like that. Then I get my corn and my rice, and to make it easy, I use a spoon to simply see if I can put some into my rainmaker very carefully. Oh yes, it makes a mess. And guess what? I'm going to clean it up for Mum, aren't I? Once I've finished. And if you are finding that it won't go in, you might need to make your foil a little bit more thinner by squashing it in a little bit. And I can put it down the side there. That's better. And I will clean up for Mum afterwards, I promise. But this is part of the fun of this, making a mess, but then of course cleaning it up. So I've got a corn and rice in here. They're actually popcorn kernels and rice. The reason the foil is in there is that it slows the movement down of the foil of the rice and the corn, and it makes it sound more like rain. So I now have my rice and my corn in there. Then I get my other brown paper bag that has my circle on it. Yep, here it is. And again, I'll go over it in green so you can actually see. And I do again my 4 spokes like a wheel. Make them as roughly as even as you can. And I cut it out. And that's simply so that I can put the lid on if you like. And I get my sticky tape. And I sticky tape it on to the top. And you know what? I'm going to put quite a bit on because it needs to be really stuck down so that the rice and the corn doesn't fall out. And please feel free to get Mum and Dad to help you with that. And then if I go like that, And then I've made my rainmaker. However, it looks pretty boring. So, as you can see, what I've done with this one is I have got a piece of paper, and I can decorate that piece of paper as quickly and as simply as you would like. I might do some swirls on it, all sorts of different colours of swirls. Then, to simply make it interesting, I can roll it up, tape it on, and roll it, tape or glue, it doesn't matter which. And then I have made my rainmaker, which makes lots of beautiful noise. Well, today, boys and girls, we've been talking a little bit about science, and we've learnt a bit about what we can hear with our ears with the rainmakers. I'm going to do another experiment called Wizard's Brew. Hope you enjoy. You might be able to do this at home, looking up the ingredients on the internet. First of all, you get some white vinegar and you clear up a glass or a jar. Then I'm going to put in some colouring. I'm going to put green colouring in. Again, you'll need Mum and Dad's help for this. Just a few drops of colouring. Then I'm going to put a little bit of dishwashing liquid in there. I'm going to stir it all up. Then here comes the fun part. I'm going to add what we call bicarbonate soda, which is part of what mums might use for cooking. Watch what happens when I put a big spoonful of bicarbonate soda in here. Wonder what's going to happen. Oh, look at that. Look at our eyes can see. It's called Wizard's Brew. It's bubbling up like a volcano. Well, boys and girls, hope you enjoyed today. Let's join in our song, Rain, Rain, Go Away, using our rainmakers. Ready? Rain, rain, go away, come again another day. Daddy wants to play. Rain, rain, go away, come again another day. Mummy wants to play. Rain, rain, go away, come again another day. Brother wants to play. Rain, rain, go away, come again another day. Sister wants to play. Rain, rain, go away, come again another day. All the family wants to play. Rain, rain, go away. Well, boys and girls, thank you so much for joining us today for our Science Leap for Learning Day. Hope you learned something and hope you had a lot of fun. That's the most important thing. Thank you so much for joining us for all the Leap for Learnings. We look forward to seeing you soon. Love to see some photos of your work too. Have fun and we'll see you soon. Bye, everyone.
Well, thanks kids for leaping into a world of learning here with us at St Martin's, and thank you Mrs Bragg for taking us on this adventure. Until next time.